What is up, Steem blockchain? What is up, DTube? Today I want to talk a little bit about, is crypto a bullshit artist game? So Lord Butterfly on Steem blockchain, he wrote a great article about this, that right now in the crypto space it really is in many ways a bullshit artist game, where a lot of systems sort of rely not on building a community, not on building great technology, but just relying on, well, we have a token and we're just going to rely on inflation. And if you just look at it, you can see that that is not really sustainable. So in many ways, yeah, I would say Lord Butterfly is right, that right now crypto in many ways is a bullshit artist game. And there are three factors which I think sort of makes maybe speeds up a lot of bullshit, that we're seeing more of it. So first we do have that we're moving into a global world. And then we do have that everything's sort of being connected in this weird way. And then we do have that value sort of is virtual. So it's sort of harder to have a concept of what is value. It becomes quite philosophical, which means it creates this nuanced space where a lot of people can just come in and say, oh, I have the answer. I know exactly how this technology is going to go. I know exactly the best app, and this is going to be amazing. So, I mean, the space is sort of, right now, it is a great thriving ground for people that want to create scams and all of this. It's like, it's the ideal system. And then we do have the third part is that you can do more stuff anonymous right now. So the combination of sort of virtual value, anonymous, and that you do have a global sort of world connected, so you have access to sort of billions of people and you can be sort of anonymous. It is a really, crypto really becomes then in many ways right now where it is the ultimate place to do a lot of bullshit. And it's not as bullshit never has happened in the past on this planet. It's just that now it becomes more obvious. People can spot it quicker because we can do pattern recognition, and technology, yes, it allows all this crazy stuff to happen, but it also at the same time allows people also to guard themselves, where they can see from a distance if something crazy is happening. And so technology, double-sided sword or weapon. The question is how. So a lot of stuff is coming up to the surface right now that humans really hasn't dealt with that much. A lot of stuff that they put on to the side in the past, which it's kind of coming up to this bubbling phase where a lot of stuff can no longer be ignored, which means there's a lot of bullshit that's going to hit at the same time. And it's not that bullshit didn't exist in the past. It always existed on this earth, but now it just becomes really in people's face, especially in the crypto industry. The amount of drama, the amount of letdowns, the amount of craziness. So, a bullshit artist game. What is the upside in the long run? In the long run, I think the upsides are going to be that communities combined with amazing technology. Right now, it's such a long development phase of technology. So the awesome stuff has not really come out yet, but eventually when you combine that with real communities that has real value backed behind it, and real humans and all of this, I think eventually that it's going to transform this space into something better. So humans sort of in many ways have to become adults in many ways, because right now people have to look at security, like people have to look at it more for themselves, because if they are going to become their own bank with their smartphones and stuff like that, that means that they can't really delegate away security, even though I think eventually when we have better hardware and better software, a lot of security questions, a lot of security stuff is going to be delegated to private companies that are going to offer security both in hardware, software, and both in the and also in the physical landscape, right? So yeah. Then you also have that humans used to have, or they still of course have, had a lot of ignorance about the amount of bullshit that goes on this earth. And when they expand their borders of ignorance, and then they really see how it actually is, and how a lot of stuff actually is being played out in this on this planet, and you see life for what it really is, both the good and the bad. It's it's almost like humans sort of have to do a software upgrade on themselves in how they look at all the systems, and sort of have to upgrade how they deal with everything. So, and it's really strange, that thing about value in sort of like a digital landscape, sort of what is value, and you have ethics, you have morals, you have all of this stuff, and you sort of shift around a lot, where sometimes you feel, well, this space is kind of hopeless, and then sometimes you see, well, this is in many ways also kind of the future. You just need more people to sort of come in and support new innovation. But it also means also in many ways, when humans have free will, that they can do whatever they feel like. So maybe not that many people care about amazing technology. Maybe they just ignore it completely and just want some easy solution. We know that many people want easy solutions, but it's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out. But I think that new technology eventually is going to lead people to use more intelligence, and a big factor of that, I think, a big factor that have the potential to reduce a lot of bullshit in the crypto industry is easier entry levels. So right now it's very hard to get into this space, or to even understand what is going on, because most of the information is quite centralized, software is centralized, and especially hardware is super centralized. So for example, a lot of people, they have, for example, devices that are a few years old. For example, a lot of people sit on iPhone 5s, iPhone 6, and they're sitting inside of locked centralized systems, so they can't really explore their intelligence super much in depth. And I think that when you truly unleash hardware that is more open, and software that's more open, and make so highly intelligent people have access to liquid value, and then that they can share that out and create their own governed systems, I think that's going to be amazing. I think that's going to be amazing. How long time will it take for this to play out? That's a good question. 20 to 30 years maybe, to reduce bullshit in the crypto space. So it might sound like a long time, and in many ways it is, but in many ways time goes by pretty fast as well. So, for example, a fun part is when people, for example, read about some bullshit, let's say in the crypto, let's say in the mainstream news, something comes out in the mainstream news, maybe BitConnect or something like that. That is just a tip of the iceberg. That is probably just 1% of what actually goes on in this industry. And that is, that's a lot of drama. That is a lot of drama. So yeah, right now, in many ways, it is a bullshit artist game, but I see positive sides in terms of when stuff is really bad. That is when people have to, in many ways, use their intelligence to see how they can make systems that are more robust. So out of disorder comes order. So in many ways, I think that if a system gets punched down a lot and there's a lot of bullshit, it's like eventually that will eventually rise up into something amazing, because all the bullshit they have laid the cards. It's like a card game. They have laid all the cards on the table, so you have seen all the moves, and there is only a limited number of moves you can do. And then people eventually realize, okay, this is how we can design better systems that are more bullshit proof. So if we would have, for example, a super long bull run, that would probably make it so people would not look at security that much. They would not look at how to secure and make better systems that are more safer, but they would just see all the value coming in, and it would actually in many ways be bad, because nothing fails like success in many ways. So you have this interesting thing in nature where a lot of failures, it sort of has the opposite effect in many ways in the long run, or this dualistic side, where a lot of failure can cause the best stuff eventually to come out. It's kind of weird of saying that, but you really can't separate anything from this existence. Everything is sort of connected together in some ways, but humans, the only thing they can do is sort of try to evolve more consciously and sort of look at things more and sort of try to make stuff a little bit better compared to the day before, and try to just amp up their level of confidence, amp up their joyful levels. And even though bullshit always will sort of be around, it may not be, but we know that the human mind is going to be around a lot, and the human mind in many ways wants excitement, and so it invents a lot of stuff. But yeah, right now bullshit artist game, mainly because there's so few people in this industry, so it's very easy to pull a lot of bullshit. But I don't think it's gonna be that easy in the future with more intelligence in this space, because larger societies needs more stability and more eyes that are looking at things. It's bullshit will eventually then have karma come right back at it. So yeah, that's what I want to talk a little bit about today. Have an awesome day, DTube and the Steem blockchain. Bye bye.